Alright guys, in this video I'll show you guys how I record my guitar sound. Most of my videos I use mic to record my sound, and these are some of the mics I purchased over the last few years. AKG P170 I've used for a few of my videos. Shure SM57, which I've used for some of my electric guitar videos, and this is always a very reliable mic to purchase and also very cheap. AKG C214 is a large diaphragm mic, condenser mic, that I used on my older videos. More recently I've been using this mic, Rode NT5 small diaphragm condenser mic. There's not a big difference, I would say, but I feel like this mic gives me a better bass response and a little bit of a clearer sound. But again, you want to test your room acoustics and things like that with different mics and see which one sounds better for you. Another thing that's important is mic positioning. So typically I like to have my mic somewhere on here. I notice the further I go towards my neck, it starts sounding flat. And of course, the further you go back, it might start sounding shallow. I like it around here. Sometimes I even angle it this way because I feel like it gives me a better sound. But it really depends on your room acoustics and what kind of sound you're looking for. Ideally, you will want two mics. One going like this and another going like that, or and blending the two and things like that to get a fuller sound. But for all my videos I'm only using one mic. This mic goes to my audio interface, and from here it gets plugged into input 1 and it goes to Thunderbolt cable to my computer, Logic Pro. It's my strong opinion that you don't need an expensive audio interface for recording guitar, and this one cost me $1,000. I've used the one that cost $150 called Scarlett Focusrite, and it pretty much sounded the same. The reason why people get expensive audio interface, in my opinion, is to get a better sound quality coming from your computer rather than the sound quality going in. So don't worry too much about buying a very nice interface. So it goes to my Logic Pro, and if you see here, a lot of you guys have asked me what loop pedal I use. I don't use a loop pedal. I actually pre-record my tracks like this. I loop it manually, cut and paste, and I record over it. So this is the dry sound with no effects on it. And I also added some chords to just kind of fill it up, so together they sound like. Okay, so that's my background, and what I do is I start recording from here. Right? Get how that works. One important thing is I use headphones when I'm looping. Reason why is that when the sound is coming from the monitors and you have a mic, then you get feedback. So when I'm recording with a mic and I'm looping, I need to use headphones, and also for the metronome. And then comes, how do I make this sound better? That's where the plugins come in. If you look here, so here is the master bus. All the sound needs to go through this bus, and here is the one specific to each track. So all the tracks are hitting these plugins. The main plugins I use is compressor, reverb, EQ, and limiter, and these go in order, meaning it first hits the compressor, then it hits the reverb, then it hits the EQ, then it hits the limiter. So I always like to leave my limiter on because it prevents clipping. Clipping is when you go in the red and you hear buzzing and it gets too loud. So I leave it on when I'm recording so that I don't clip. So here's the raw sound. And here's the sound with the reverb. Now one thing I like about Logic Pro is that it has a lot of presets, meaning it's easy to use. So I go into my reverb here, there's 4 different kinds of reverb. For this track I use Space Designer reverb. and it pops up like this. And if you see here, there's a lot of different presets. You could do large space, rooms, halls, medium space, small space. For this one I went with medium hall, and you see how there's presets already chosen like this. You just play around with it, adjust a few things here and there to your liking. And next effect I use is the compressor. So what it basically does is it makes things louder, but what it really does is it makes your quiet sounds louder and your loud sounds quieter, and then you have a makeup gain to boost the total sound after you've done that. So with the compressor, I'll show you guys the effects. Nope. So this is no compressor. And that's only because I'm doing a lot of makeup gain here. But again, like for Logic Pro, they have presets. Guitars, I usually go with the acoustic guitar and I tweak a few things here and there. There's tons of YouTube videos on how to use a compressor and what these knobs mean and what they do. But for the most part, you keep it in the preset and you'll be fine. Next is the EQ. Let me reset this. So generally what I like to do is you see how there's a lot of noise here. I like to clean up the low ends because that's what makes it sound a little bit muddy. So I like to cut out some of the low ends here. And sometimes you have these spikes where you see things go up like that. And generally when there's a large spike like that, it's not pleasing to the ear. So you want to kind of level it out. So for here, you see how when it went to the G, it spiked a lot here. We don't want that to really happen. So I like to just kind of control it and be at a level where and you know, maybe that's okay. Also, if you like more treble, you could raise the high ends here. It makes your sound a little more crisp, a little more clean. You don't want to do it too much because then it just might sound bad. Sometimes you want to just do like this if you're targeting a certain sound, mid-range, high range, things like that. So yeah, just play around with that. So that's pretty much how I get my sound from the mic. One other thing I want to mention is sometimes I like to blend a mic and a pickup. So down here, my guitar, you plug it in, and the mic. So it goes, the mic is still an input 1, and the 1/4 inch goes to, well, you could plug it directly to, you know, your audio interface. What I do is I plug it to a DI box, direct box, and it goes to the XLR and it goes to input 2. So now I have input 1 and 2. The reason why I use a DI box is I feel like it gives a better sound, but it's not really that important, I think. So if you see here, this is the mic. You see input 1. The one on the bottom is the pickup. You see input 2. So let's see how each one sounds. I'll play the mic first. Okay, and I'll play the pickup. You blend the two, and it sounds like this. My pickup is low on battery because it sounds like crap, but I'll check on that later. I like blending the pickup because it has a good bass response. So sometimes I would add pickup, but just maybe a low volume. So you really get that full bass. I'm not a big fan of the pickup sound on the high or mid ends because it sounds a little artificial, but you know, it's really up to you and what sounds good to you guys. So yeah, about 20% of my videos I'm using a blend of mic and pickup. Okay, and then last item is recording. I use Sony A6300. Here's the new lens that I purchased recently. It was pretty expensive and I couldn't really tell the difference. So this, I record like this. And a lot of these cameras have phone apps that you could put your phone down and you see yourself being recorded. So let's say this is the phone. I would place it somewhere like here while I'm recording so I could see myself and see how I look. So after I have the video clip and the audio clip, I edited in my Final Cut Pro. You don't need to have this particular app to do it. I mean, there's free versions. I think iMovie, I was using it for a while before I got this. So here's my video clip and my audio. So this audio track you see here is imported from Logic Pro here. And basically what you want to do is you want to match the audio to the video, and you play it so it matches. And once it matches, you take down the video volume, and now you have the final video. And I think that's it. So if you guys have any questions or if there's anything else you guys want to know, let me know in the comment box. And everyone have a nice day.